Alrighty guys, we're here to talk a little bit about jiggering and measuring. There's always this time-old question to jigger or not to jigger, and we're going to answer that today. You see, we get arguments on both sides of it. If I jigger, does it slow me down? If I free pour, does it speed me up? Well, at the end of the day, our job in a craft-centric bar is to put the best cocktail in front of the guest. Yes, in a timely manner and as quick as we can, but ultimately the product needs to speak for itself. It needs to be perfect. Our intention should be that we create this perfect cocktail. So let me answer a few questions. First, let's start out with your pour spouts and how that affects whether you jigger or not. Now, if Joe comes into the bar and he opens for breakfast, lunch, or brunch service, and he pulls his syrups out of the refrigerator where they're meant to be stored, and we know, as we've identified in previous videos, that agave, simple syrups, have a higher density rate, and that density is affected by temperature, and they've stayed in the fridge overnight, then surely when they're going to be far more viscous and dense. So if you were to free pour, let's say, a margarita, and a very dense item is coming out, that little guy there, then surely it's going to be moving at a slower rate. So if you are of the ideology that your 1/1002 count on a free pour is 3/4 of an ounce, but this liquid is far more dense, then you're probably only getting a 1/2 ounce in there. Okay, you're not getting the full experience and expression of the cocktail. Subversely, Julio comes in to the PM shift, and that same agave syrup has been sitting out in the summer heat of Los Angeles all day. The density of it, or the viscosity of it, is now much lower, okay, meaning it's going to flow more. So now his 1/1002 count is going to be a fat 3/4 of an ounce. Now he's putting more than enough agave in. You mitigate all of that by simply jiggering, okay? The same goes for your citrus. You see, your citrus, lemon and lime juice and whatnot, on the inside of your pour spout, in the funnel, right in here, right in there, create a residue. It mimics this stuff called hydroxyls. Okay, it's kind of a matter on the inside that can slow down your pour. So once again, even though it's has a lighter density rate, as you pour your citrus, those particles will slow down your pour, and especially if they get inside this little airflow, the old carb right there, it'll slow it down because it's restricting airflow. So there's part one of why we jigger. Part two of why we jigger is much more the hospitality angle of it. First of all, a guest sees you measuring, they expect the product to be perfect and well done. That's part A. Part B is you actually can, instead of going faster, which again, we talk in terms of volume, we all want to go fast. I am not interested in you guys going fast. I'm interested in you guys creating time. And the way you create time is, for example, let's do a brief demonstration. Let's say Ken is now free pouring, and I've got my cocktail shaker here, and a guest walks up to me at the bar, and I'm in the middle of making that margarita, and I'm pouring and I'm counting one, and the guest is saying, "Hey, can I get a martini?" And I'm counting. Right? So now I've lost time in getting that guest's experience and that guest ordering. Now, if I'm jiggering, I am letting this do my counting for me. And can I get a martini? Absolutely, my man. What kind of would you like? Gin, vodka, etc., etc. You see, so I've then created time by using an instrument that does the counting for me. From an esoteric perspective, I've now alleviated my brain power, my bandwidth from having to dedicate time to counting, and now I can allocate that energy directly to the guest and give them the experience they want, while again collapsing and creating time. I'm sure you all have, coming from the volume world, have incredible counts on your free pours, but I promise you, with all the residual stuff that gets stuck in pour spouts throughout the shift, throughout a day, I promise you it does affect your end product. You're either under or over pouring, and you're not going to give the guests a perfect cocktail. So let's let science do the work. Let's let math and science do the job for us, so that we can now take our energy and speed up the guest experience, not the cocktail experience. Cheers, guys.